With a Saturday confession. We're having, I guess, Catholics, do they do it on Saturday? When do you confess to God your sins? I wasn't ready. I literally was right in the middle of a song, swinging and swaying, and I got this fucking vision so fast. I was like, oh, you slept with him. I was like, oh God, oh God, oh God. Houston, we have a problem. Welcome to a Saturn day where God pushes your limits by forcing you into healing. Why am I laughing? Because I've gotten to a place in my life where this is my reaction to a lot of things. It doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. It's just the initial run. So at first, when you strap into a fucking roller coaster, you're very excited about it. It's like, oh no, we're about to go down a pipe hole. Oh no. What's up, everybody? Get ready for a story. Here's a little story about something that happened in my life that I forgot until right this fucking moment. And I'm about to share some dirty shit with you and walk you through it. Hey.
Read it.
What? Okay, thanks for announcing that fully on the freaking. Hey, you want these? Take these. Okay, so let me get into this. This is super funny. I was jamming. I posted something in my community page, making shit or talking shit. It was so funny. I was like, I say it all the time. I think it's really funny. The shit that Bobby says, he doesn't say much. I mean, sure, a lot of it's dumb, but there is some good shit in there. Like, there's some golden nuggets in that bullshit, right? There's a couple things he said that's really powerful. So anyways, I was just trying to push him for like a long time. Like, well, how do you feel? How do you feel? How do you feel? And all he told me, this is what he told me, and I shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut the fuck up. I got what I wanted. And it was the truth. So it was done. What do you say? He said, I feel like you're the devil trying to convince me that grass is greener in hell. And it was a real shut the fuck up moment, and for all different reasons. So anyways, this morning I'm jamming and shit. And I was like, what, you ain't never been to the dirty before? And it's a whole joke, but it's not, because it's really fucking funny. It's great. It's fucking funny. So anyways, I fucking put on Young Buck, and I'm laughing at it, and I'm listening to the song. I'm like, you're such a fucking dude. You are so masculine. Like, this whole song is like, it's a song, but if you reverse the roles and you really listen to that song, you really get the idea of why I listen to thug-ass music. I'm a whole dude up in this bitch. Like, I'm a whole ass dude up in this. So anyways, I'm having this, damn, I'm a whole ass dude. Like, can you see the dude in me? And then I remembered Freak Show. And Freak Show said, he's like, Lucky's not one of the Lucky's not a girl, she's one of the homies. He was like the only person that ever said that, right? He said it out loud. Uh-oh, I just got another memory. Oh no, I slept with him. Oh no. Oh no, I'm getting memories. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Houston, we're about to go over this ledge here. Oh God. Anyways, Freak Show said that. And then I was like, yeah, Freak Show got me. And then I was like, yeah, because we were friends. And then I saw the friendship. I was like, oh, I slept with him. And then I saw it right away. I was like, oh, there's another fucking instance of me being somebody's side bitch. Fuck, why did you do this so many times? Meaning, he had a girl. He had a girl. And he had lots of girls. He had lots of girls and a girl. And that's what broke us all up. I'm trying to think about it. I was like, you should go see Freak Show. I was like, oh yeah, the last time I saw him during my awakening, we got into a huge fight because I asked him what happened to his girl. And he was like talking shit. He was like, nah, she was a bitch. Fuck that bitch. This is like years later. Our kids are in their 20s now. Like, literally just picked him up from his, you know what I mean? It could have been a grandkid or his actual kids, you know what I mean? Football, something or rather at a high school, right? So anyways, like, no, that's not cool, dude. She was great people. Crystal was great people. I feel bad. I lost a friend. I lost a lot of friends in this whole stupid situation, right? Is what I said. And he's all being an asshole, being all fucking, you know what I mean, like arrogant about who she was, and you know, just talking shit about his baby mama like she wasn't shit and she's a bitch and all this shit. And I was like, nah, bro, you treated her like shit. She was good people. I enjoyed her. She was a good person. And obviously, you know what I mean, she raised your kids and shit. How, you know, here I am just trying to ask about her and he's just putting her down. And I remember her being a good girl. But again, there was a situation, dude. Like, I'm trying to think here. I think I was probably aware, but didn't care. Because, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm looking at it because, you know, it's Bobby, it's all of them. It's like, it's very strange because even down to my own husbands, they entertained many, many women. And there was something about that. There was something about the fact that, you know what I mean, you know, I don't know. I guess we're breaking into some serious shit. And then the other guy, he had said, that's what popped in my head, Raimundo. When I was in my first marriage, after I left my first marriage, it was my friend that I started sleeping with. That was a whole fucking scenario. And he said, it was really funny because they were talking about me and they're like, why are you with her? She's a fucking bitch. That chick is a whole bitch. And he's like, yeah, but she's my bitch. And I remember that's what popped in my head. That's what popped in my head was these two dudes that got me. And that's where I always laugh about it. It's like, she's crazy, but she's my friend. In the sense of, you know, there's been people that get me. But then I realized that those are the ones that I was very intimate with, obviously, is what popped in my head. And that wasn't it. It popped in my head like, okay. I was like, oh yeah, he got me. I should go say what's up to him. And then right away I got took back to what happened when I tried to say what's up to him last time. And that's what happens. They're trying to show me the whole thing. Because last night's video, I was telling you about my journey. And now we're reliving the steps of this journey is obviously what's going on. As I'm closing off the memories through the journey, I had to start from the childhood, you know, my childhood memories and work all the way through time and do all these crazy healings. So now all this stuff, it just comes in at random times. Like, I didn't remember none of this till, like, right now. Like, I never thought about this guy till right now. You're like, in all these years? Yeah, bro. I didn't even think about him till right now. It just came in my head right now when I was listening to music, talking shit in my head, you know, laughing about myself. It's like, oh, you want to laugh at yourself? Let's laugh at this. What'd I do? Oh, shit, that was funny. In the sense of, do I remember? No. I have one memory. I can see it. I'll be very honest. I can see myself. I'm laying there on the bed naked, and he's like, you got to put your clothes on. You got to, like, you can't just lay there. You can't just be chilling like this. I was like, okay. That's all I can remember. But during those days, it was music and cocaine and alcohol and no kids and just wildness. It really, really, really was. It was just all chaos. It was just, you know what I mean? That's what it was. It was all chaos. 20s or something. And the story ends real badly. What happened? I end up getting freaking, you know what I mean, raped by his best friend and wife. It's a long ass story, but I didn't like think about that. I didn't think about that, and I was like, you know, the memories how they came, the vision how it came was, I was like, oh, you could go see him, and then I remember being in his house and all that big ass blow up that happened about his girl, and then real quick I was like, oh, you've been in relationships with people like this before, you know, all these quick analyzations come into it. And then I was like, I don't want to talk to someone that I slept with. They're all weird about that and shit. No, And that's what it is, too. They'd be all like, later, like, there was another dude. Oh, God, they're coming in. Oh, God. Then there was the white boy, Nick, the chef. I lived with him in Cap Hill. And out of nowhere, one day, he sent me a message, just him, out of nowhere, out of all the people that ever was totally horrible to me. Sent me a message on Facebook apologizing for being a jerk during those times. He wasn't really. I was a jerk. But he ended up putting me out on my birthday. Hey, it's your birthday. No, but, you know, it was, I respect it. You know what I mean? I don't really, but then it's like there's another person you slept with and you were intimate with. Do you remember it? Absolutely not. I can't remember kissing him or nothing. I remember the layout of the house. I remember watching a lot of great movies. I remember that back then, Netflix, we'd wait for them to come in the mail. That's when I was dating that dude. It was a whole story. He treated me very well. I just was still a partier. And honestly, I was still caught up in the music and freak show and all of that bullshit. I was still doing drugs and shit. And then he was trying to get out of drugs. He was, you know what I mean, rehabilitating his life. He had just got out of the system, and he had a great job over on the 16th Street Mall, and he got it. Back then, Cap Hill was just coming up, but it still had all of the sus. So it's like, you know, there was still that guy outside of the fucking vinyl and outside of the church and outside of all of these clubs that was selling some shit. And you're like, oh, sure, why not? Okay, sure. That's totally on the menu tonight. You know, stupid shit like that. They're all coming in, but it's like, can you remember the actual intimate experiences? No, I just remember being in their space, and I know that during that time and space that I was sleeping with them. That's not weird. How terrible must that feel for them? But I was actually there. I know I was there, but I can't remember it. And then you got Bobby who says some stupid shit like, let's refresh your memory. Stupid as fuck. What do you remember? I remember 12 times. 12 times? I'm not doing that again. That's what Amizi said. When I told him, he was one of the first people I told about that shit. I don't remember sexual experiences. He's like, it must have been all trash. It was the best thing anybody ever told me, because it was really a sad situation. It's like, how did I get this far with 4 kids and I don't even know what a dick looked like? I have no idea. Like, no idea. I'm like, what? So going back to it, it's like, yeah, I'm catching all of these should I say lovers? Gosh, there's a scary thought. You call your body count lovers? Okay, hold on a second. This is trippy. Give me a minute. I wasn't ready. What were they if I was sleeping with them? Right? I lived with Nick for like a year, so like he was my boyfriend. Wow, I did have a boyfriend, huh? Okay, this is what I mean, dude. Who the fuck was I? What was I doing? Where did this all come from? And I gotta piece together Reese's Pieces, the fucking fabrication of my life, just so I can like figure out what's wrong with me. Some shit I didn't even know was wrong with me. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to find the pattern of what's wrong with me and who are these guys? Who are you? And I know you from where? Elementary school? Nah, Nick, go that way. That's a big pun. Because it's so hard. Want to take my life, make you... Never mind. Let's move on. Alright, let's look at exhibit A, B, and C. Where did we get? We got Freak Show. How did I make Freak Show? Through Digital Underground. No. I met them through 2 Live Crew up in Breck. I met him in Breck. I remember coming back. Oh, God, Rachel. Oh, God, here comes Rachel again. Oh, God, Rachel. Oh, God, and I took Justin. But Justin wasn't old enough, so he had to sit in the car the whole time. Yeah, that's fucked up. And then when they found out that when we went to the after party, we were smoking weed. He didn't care. By that time, he was around famous people, bro. He did not care. He did not care. I totally always deliver, bro. In the sense of, oh, we're going to go meet some famous people. Always. When I took Michaela, she went fucking froze. It's Justin Bieber. That motherfucker took my phone, bro. You better go suck his dick or whatever we came here for, bro. What the fuck? I hate that guy. Anyways, we're in the fucking... It's a whole long thing. And that's it. People always use me. Why? Because people... Real recognizes real. So as far as their fucking celebrity status, and 9 times out of 10, and that's exactly what happened at that fucking show. It's exactly what happened at that show. I don't know who you are. I'm just here as a supporter or some kind of, I'm here on a flex or some shit. So that exact show, I'm in the back of the venue smoking. I'm always somewhere. You can ask Bri. I'm always somewhere in the cut. I'm always that weird bitch. Like, I'm chilling, but I'm always somewhere outside of this, outside of the shit. And I'm out there smoking. And Two Live is not Two Live. It doesn't have Luke. So he's rolling with, Chris is rolling with these guys from Alabama called what are they fucking called? I can't remember. It might pop in my head. But anyways, the guy that's singing most of the fucking songs, you know, this dude, he rolls up on me. And he's like, are you here for the show? And I was like, yeah, you too? He's like, I am the show. I was like, oh, okay. And he invites me down, and that was a big old thing. So then I come in through the backstage with those guys, and then it's a whole thing. So then I come off the stage, and coming off the stage while they go to perform, but then they're pulling me back on the stage to dance. Who the fuck isn't a hoochie mama, bro? Pump with it. And that's what's so funny is like, yeah, bro, I done did that on every time they came. The one I think about all the time is Longmont. That was like the last time, but also something tragic happened in that hotel with the same guy I'm talking about. Oh, God, the memories are coming back. I blame Sheila in the gig. I stared at her vagina too long last night while we were going through the pages. I was like, this really talks about all your use and abuse and your... oh, gosh. Where are we? There's a chapter in my book called Sheila and the Gig, and we talk about this. Your charm and your ways, using your ways to get what you want and to be in the places that you want to be and be seen and be, get what you want. Manipulation ultimately is what it breaks down to, and that's where it's like, don't say that word, because now you're going to have to see how you used yourself to manipulate things. And I really did. Going back to the last fucking... I don't manipulate it, though. I'm looking at the whole scenario, what it always happens. Because even down to Bry, I had no intentions of that. I went to go support... Why was I at that show? Da Vinci. I went to go support Da Vinci. And Bry sits down, and of course he just offers me an opportunity to perform. No strings attached in the next couple shows. He's like, we could put you on a couple shows. And since the girl next to me is an artist too, he offers her as well, right? So there's always been this opportunist energy around me. Going back to, you know what I mean, how did I meet they come to me. I mean, I go to these places, but they're drawn to me. It's an equal magnetism. I'm seeing Young Jock. I don't know, one of the summer jams. I remember exactly getting ready and going to it and exactly what I wore and everything. And he comes out and he's signing merch and shit right over there at Fiddler's Green. He's signing shit for a quick bit before he's going to go and do his set. And, I walk by at that time and I'm just looking in to see what's going on. And he makes eye contact. And as he goes to leave, all these girls are trying to go with him. They try to, the groupie shit. And he grabs my hand to go with him. And I just look down and let go. You know what I mean? Like, all of the time, they gravitate towards me. And God, if you would say it's just, how do I know all these celebrities? I go to their atmosphere, and then before, me, myself, and I maintain it. Down to Bry. He doesn't bring me to his concerts because I'm an amazing performer. But he was the first one to see me perform, and his only critique was, we talked about a little bit of the stage performance, but he said, ultimately, I needed dancers for my type of music. Him and Meezy were the first ones to see me perform, and then shortly after he put me, I did like a couple weeks of fucking training with Terrell, practicing and shit, Mike, and all of that. It was so funny because Hannah had been in music for like nearly 6 years before that, and still hadn't been doing what I was doing right there. You know what I mean? The fucking actual, rehearsals and shit like that. And I was trying to bring her in. It was just kind of that situation. Is like, I just go in a direction, and there's always greatness in the directions that I go. So if we break down all of this, and I mean, who are these guys, and how did you end up with these guys, and what brings these guys in, and what's the like of these guys? Because that's what just came in, a big fat flow of guys from the past, a bunch of memories. What brought Freak Show in? My magnetism at the fucking show. What kept Freak Show in my life? He was a producer. And he worked with all kinds of artists there. He was all about music, and I was all about music, right? and then something, you know, and then we know how that ended. Okay, what brought Nick in? Drugs brought Nick in, bro. I gotta be honest. I was in an apartment up on Broadway, and I had lost my kids. I took my kids back to their dad, and I came back and I was just all spun out in drugs, and he brought me in, and started taking care of me, and then he got he moved from up there down to downtown, and he just, you know, kind of took care of me for, I guess, a year, but I guess out of pity or whatnot, because I was still partying all the time. I did have a job, I was working and shit, but it was just, I gotta be honest, like, what was he attracted to? All I was doing was run around, you know what I mean? I was just a girl that lived in the apartments that was pretty and did drugs. That's it. Like, I don't know what he was attracted to. There was a bar across the street that I would go to and freaking get all loaded at. And then I would hang out with all the people in the apartments that did drugs. I would go from house to house doing drugs with, you know, the Mexican ladies and shit like that. I left that house because I got set up and this dude came in and raped me. It was a whole situation. It was a whole situationship. So then we're like, okay, what brought in that guy? I'm trying to see what it is. It's like, when did I ever have men, and what were these men, and why did I have men, is really what just came in. It's not about the sexual experiences. I realized, oh, you had intimate relationships with these men. Okay, let's go back. Who else did we find in there? I thought there was like a third one. Raimundo. Alright. Devani had beat me, and I had left him, and I was living at the Momo. And Raimundo lived there with Cindy and was selling drugs out of there. That's how that happened. He had a whole baby mama and some other shit. Yep. Always caught in some weird side chick shit. I was like, I don't know, 19 then. It's crazy because I'm catching all these years. They're all spread out years. These are super spread out years. Nick would have been like, I met him before my husband. I had to go to his house to get my shit, and he wouldn't give me my shit. I went there. At the time, he wasn't my husband. He was just this, I was running a business down, and that's what happened. That's what I was like, I don't know what I did with Nick. I started working in the perfume. I did stop doing drugs, and I started selling perfume, and that was an all-the-time sales position where I was never home. And then that's why it wasn't a big deal that he put me out, because by then I was already living in hotels and living on the road with the freaking, you know, with the perfume freaks, and we were just traveling around from state to state selling fucking perfumes and shit. I didn't have no kids, I didn't have nothing, and I was really good at that bullshit. And I came back. By that time I was running an office down in Colorado Springs, and I had hooked up with what becomes my husband later, and I go back to get my shit from him. And then I remember it was a big old deal. He wouldn't open the door. He wouldn't give me my shit. I had a big old fucking tub of all my clothes and shit, and he wouldn't give me my shit. And then that just started like a whole nother thing. What happened with my husband? He just gave me a little too much attention. Going back to it, I was just laser focused, and he just was like, he gave me too much attention and wouldn't stop trying to pursue me. So I gave in. Oh God, it was a sick thought. How did this happen? Desperation, codependency to the fullest, dude, is what I'm saying. And that's exactly what Sheila Nagig points out, is how you're so desperate for companionship and for relationships, and how you use yourself and will give yourself and your power over just to have, yeah, that's the whole chapter, is desperation. It's like, that's it. It's like, why was I with these people? It felt good to have somebody, better than nobody, but they were absolute fucking nobodies. What happened with Bobby? It felt good to be pursued, and he was persistent in pursuing me. In the end, I was like, I'm just gonna fuck your world up, dude. So, like, in the sense of, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of you then. Fuck it. I remember that being my full intention. And then I remember getting fucked, like, holy whoa. Like, this never ended like this. This is always like, you know, this never happens. This is the best I ever had. You know what I mean? It's always like this fucking free pump chump and you're like done, and I'm like, well, that was great. I mean, not to say that it lasted longer than most. I see that Hercules moment. Your son was the best I ever fought. In the sense of, that's what I asked him too. When he came to my house, I was like, was it fast? Oh no. Wow, it was like the blink of an eye in my mind. And when you know, you don't know. That's why I'm like, trying to convince me to do it again is like, it never, like, there's no fucking memories. Why am I gonna do that again, dude? Like, I don't remember. I have all these supposed experiences that I'm sure I was there, bro. I have the memories of everything else. No, I don't. I really don't. In essence, I have a memory that can validate that, you know, I have an alibi saying that I literally was there. And then they want to come in and tell me. It's like reading a book to me of a person I don't know. You know what I mean? As he started to tell me, you know, when he told me that I slept with him 12 times, I'm in complete disbelief. And I want to know, but I don't. Because what difference does it make? Like, you remember what I wore? Like, where were we all those times? You know, and then it becomes like, you know, like pushy, like you're going to tell me everything about me, like just sit there. But when I woke up, I did want that because he was the only person I recognized. And I didn't understand it. It's like, why do I feel like this for you? And it took like, oh God, a long, long time of him, you know, me just exploring, oh, you had like a whole situationship with this person that developed all these feelings that you denied yourself, and now you're in a big ass mess with all these feelings that you can't do nothing about but feel. Oh, this is messy. And then you start cursing God, which I did for pretty much this whole journey. Why did you make me fall in love like this? Teach you. Teach everyone. So that was a fun little journey of and this would be that moment where I'm so ashamed, I'm so disgusted, I'm gonna throw up. Oh God, don't tell anybody who you were and what you've been through, and don't tell them who your exes are on the first date. Oh God, all my exes live in Texas. Man, I wish. But that was a fun little journey through the conscious of my mind that I subconsciously don't know. I tried to explain that to you. The planets, it's the days of the week. There's certain levels to it where you're just set in a certain place of introspection. Right before I posted this, I had posted, it's a total whiteout. It's a total whiteout. You can't even see Denver from the Highlands. It's a total whiteout. It's like 4 to 6 inches, and I'm just watching it fall, and it's just beautiful. It's like, this wasn't the day I had planned, so obviously this isn't my day. This must be your day, God, is what I said in that post. And I'm just sitting here jamming, loving me in the sense of, you're such a dude. Look at you, you're such a dude. Look how you act with this dude. Because it's funny, I'm fucking with him, but at the same time, like, I really say these things. Like, I really feel it. Like, this is really me. And then that moment, I was like, this dude got me. He knew I was a whole ass dude in this shit. Like, he really got me. You know what I mean? But he got more of me than I probably should have gave. It's that moment, I guess. And it took me on a journey. And that's it. It's just like, how often do you just sit down with yourself and go through the memories and go through your freaking files and just kind of, you know what I mean, face hard things. What's the hardest thing about this? No memories. That's the hardest thing, and you'll see me cry in my videos about it. It's like, I'd like to know. There's a whole world out there that knows more about me than I'll ever know, that actually spent time with me, this person. When it started, dude, and that's what started. I started to wake up, and I was scared of it, so I was open about it. It's like, I have a personality disorder that I'm currently working on. Meaning what? It triggers. If something triggered me, and that's going back to Famanach, if I got put in an uncomfortable place, another part of my psyche would take over and handle that situation. And I would have no knowledge or memory or anything of what just happened. It was just like in the books, bro. I'd just wake up, and all I'd have is maybe some messages or somebody in my face or me in a situation, like just wake up in places. Literally, it was horrendous. But then when I started, really waking up, I can remember going to the doctor trying to explain to him what I'm feeling. And I praise that doctor because he knew what it was. Based on his outside teachings, he knew what he was dealing with the second I walked in that door, even though I couldn't explain it. But I could. I just thought it was something that I was taught it was from an older time, which was personality disorder. So I start to tell him that there's parts of me that I'm having all of this go on, right? And then he denies me what I'm looking for, which is the answer, telling me that I have personality disorder. He calls it internal parts therapy. And because my brain won't accept what he's saying, it wants what it wants. It wants him to confirm what we know it is, right? I need that piece. I need you to confirm that this is what's wrong with me. And he won't give me what it is. So then there's a part of me that flips out right in his office. It's like, you don't know what I'm going through, and obviously you're not going to be any help to me, so I'm leaving. And in the middle of that, the second part goes off, and I start crying. And I'm like, I need your help, dude. I can't control this. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't control it. He's like, go to YouTube. And then by this time, my body has stood up and is moving. I'm sitting there crying for his help, but my body has already stood itself up, and I'm at the door and I'm crying to him. He says, go to YouTube and look up internal parts therapy. I said, okay, make me another appointment. And I leave there and I make a video about what just happened, how I witnessed myself go crazy in there and all this shit, and I don't know what's wrong with me. And then I go down and I sit down and I watch these videos. And I do what the video says. The video says to close your eyes and focus on the pain. What's hurting you the most. Follow that pain. And it's going to take you to a memory. And that's where this all starts. So then you sit down and you don't even know you're hurting. At this point, you sit down, you don't even know things are hurting you. Things are bothering you, that you have things inside of you that have wounded you. Once you get to all through the harsh wounds. And so I'm sitting here, and that's where that is. I'm in my quiet place, my healing place. This is where it happens. I've programmed myself that this is, this is where it comes from. So as I sit here in a happy place, I can open up to the unhappy things that have happened. I'm already happy before I go into it. That's the thing, and I tell you that a lot, is they get you to a really high before they take you way down low. You know what I mean? And that was me giggling and shit. They're like, oh, watch this. And they come in fast. Sometimes just one. I can only take one. But when I started to see the child sexual trauma, it was 4 at a time. It's like, why don't I go to Texas? And I got this flash of being in the cornfield with my uncle. I was like, oh. And then I got another flash. And then I got another flash. And then I got another flash. And I was like, okay, guys, okay. I know what's happened. Just give me a minute. I'm going to find a way to get you out of there. I'm going to get you out of there. And I panic and I leave from work, and I've just seen this. Same thing that happened right in front of his face, dude. I'm sitting there with Freak Show. I haven't seen him. I've just released my album, and I'm starting to wonder, why haven't I seen the producer I worked with for all these years? So I'm sitting in front of him, and he tells me, no, like, you just disappeared. And I tell him that I was at that light and I was crying. He's like, that's where they lived. And as soon as he said that, I remembered them and what happened in front of him. All of a sudden, just like that, a memory comes back. I can see a vision of me in bed with these people. And I start panicking. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And he's just screaming at me, Lucky, I told you not to go there. I told you to stay away from them. As I'm seeing it and I can't get out of this vision, I'm stuck in this vision of me in this bed filled with all this fear, filled with all these feelings. I'm scared. I'm totally scared, and all I can see is myself naked with two naked people, and I'm freaking out, and I'm stuck in this vision in my head, and he's screaming outside of me, I told you, and I'm crying because all I can do is feel it. And that's what it is, these memories, you feel them real, you have to feel when you were there. How did I get there? That's when, like, I don't ask that question anymore. And that's where I worked a little bit. How were these guys, where did I meet you? I can't think about the details of this memory that I have right this minute, what built up to it, and that's Bobby. Like, I remember working with him. That's all I remembered when I talked to him. And he's like, I think about the times. Like, what times? It's like, we hooked up. And I'm like, huh? And I'm like, I don't remember that. He's like, are you serious? And at that moment, I'm trying to reach for a memory. And then real quickly, I'm like, what about your husband? I don't remember that. What about the other husband? I don't fucking remember that. What about your kids? What about your mom? And it happened so fast. The one memory not remembering turned into, I don't remember my life. And they just come in. And they're like painful. All those memories right there, that was a lot in one session. That was like a whole bunch of memories of different times that I just didn't remember. I never think about these people. There's nothing in there until there's something. And what did we just see? A bunch of shit I don't want to see. A bunch of unbelievable shit. You slept with all these men. What? Okay. Why? That was my next question. Why did I sleep with these men? How did I know these men? How did it end? What was the commonality? That's my life. Oh, there we go. Hold on a second. And we're back. That was God at work. I got a shift. And we're back. That was God at work. I got a shift for tomorrow. I'll be busy cleaning up God's mess today. That's cool. I don't know. God needs to do something. I have to pay back the money for last week, and I got to do 20 rides. So I don't know how we're going to do all this, but God's got a plan, and I'm just rolling with his plan, whatever you plan. I'm not going to end up in a ditch right now. They can't get all of this off. There's like at least, it's building up hella fast. So we've got either the sun needs to come out, or we need to give them time to hit the streets. But everybody's still going to want to move. The stock show, everything. I have 4-wheel drive. So there's lots of opportunity. Anyways, going back to that, it's like, God just gave me a job to do tomorrow. Talking about the memories and talking about the healing and stuff. Your healing is optional. It is your free will choice to face hard memories and deal with hard feelings and try to understand yourself and try to make yourself a better person. Yours is fully optional. I don't have a choice. I'm grateful for the memories I get, even though they're so awful. Because the more awful memories that I do get, you look at them as a fool. It's like, damn, you had an awful life. But I'm not an awful person. And I can have so much compassion for the times that I was just, full of outbursts and full of triggers and full of, rage. I came off as a real hard bitch. A don't fuck with that bitch. You know what I mean? Very intimidating. Beautiful. You know what I mean? And well put together, but a super cunt. And all that anger that was out there was just nothing but hurt. I was so angry about how hurt I was, but I didn't know any of this. When I would act out in anger, I couldn't understand what I was so pissed off about. Why are you acting like this? Why are you fucking freaking out on people? I can see the sun trying to come out as we talk. I see you. I see you. And, it's like, why do you talk to people like this? Why do you think like this? It's all about, my self-discovery is God's work. Because, it's a beautiful story because, going back to being Lilith or Lucifer. It's like you hate your very creation of your life. Why did you create me this way? It's been nothing but madness and chaos, and why couldn't you just make my life like them? Why couldn't you give me the glory you gave to, man? And even man felt that way about each other, and even, it was like that. So now it's like I'm forced to have such reverence and respect for the absolute shit life that I lived. It's such a shit show, and it gets uglier and uglier and uglier. Like, how low can you go? Oh, you ain't never been to the dirty before? You don't want to talk about child sexual trauma? You don't want to talk about, drug abuse? You don't want to talk about these things? You don't want to talk about deaths and murders and starvation and children and all of this? You don't want to talk about it? Because that's the whole fucking life God gave me, bro. He's like, I'm the queen of hell. I've lived in hell my whole fucking life. I have made hell my playground. But yet these people, I pray for these people, and I, you know what I mean? I do what I can to protect these people, and I speak life over these people, because these are people too. God has given us a life that, you don't understand, but we, the people, still have a life that we have to live, and we have to have, love for the life that he's given us. And truthfully, bro, I wear the skin of my mother, my mother's mother, my brothers, my sisters, and all of them. I really put it on. That's what it means to be the black sheep. Because you gotta wear it until you take it off. And it's heavy. You don't get to forget where you came from. You have to heal that shit. You know what I mean? And yeah, going back to it, it's like my journey is not an optional. I don't get to opt out of my contract. I must learn and teach everyone and witness and show the Christ consciousness within. And that's it. It's like, oh, you should feel a lot of ways about it. I should feel. You want me to feel which way about what? I feel all my feelings. That's what got me here, is not feeling anything. So now I have to sit here in the feelings of my new realization, which is what? Exactly what is on the surface. What are we always trying to heal? What am I always trying to heal? My rebellion towards men. If you really want to know, what's the ultimate contract here? What they're working on all the fucking time is, me and my union. It really is. It really is. That's all God wants, is that happily ever after for me. But it's my rebellion to it. And so that's where we work through. It's like we work through all of the things that make me what I, not want it. And that goes back to it. It's like, did you ever? What happened with my first husband? He got me out of my mom's house. That's it. But drugs. He was a drug lord. Told you my whole life. Drug dealers and killers, bro. My dad himself can't even speak on it, bro. And he has the nerve to talk about fucking foreign criminals. That's how it got you your status in your biker gang there, buddy. Like, seriously. He's the person that makes people go away. You know what I mean? I was born into this shit. I was born into it. And I could have ended up like my brothers and my cousins and my sisters and all of them, bro. But I chose Christ. Doesn't mean that I ended up in a better place. I did. Because I'm free from those ways of thinking and from those, those ideologies and that, that's that lifestyle. But it still lives around me. And that was another thing too. It's like, why are you where you are? Because just like many of them, Joseph saved his brothers after his brothers betrayed him. St. Patrick went back to the very people that enslaved him. Mowgli went back to the, it's I don't know. You know what I mean? Moses went to free the people, the very people he slaved. That's God. That's something I had to get quiet too. I just realized that, why does he put you back in the same places from, the same people? Why did he put me, back to last night? Did I curse them or I set them free? In the sense of, you're going to wake up and you're going to face the reality. You're going to reap what you've sown. You will go no further. And that's what happened to me. And that's what the awakening is you wake up and you got a lot of cleanup to do. Within yourself, what you've done with yourself and what you've done with others. You could call it the atonement, the transformation. But just like the book says, it's such a painful journey to, visit yourself and the roles you played in this life, the people you hurt, the things you said, the way you act. In the end, you don't spend any time pointing fingers, only at yourself. It's a super self-discovery of bringing yourself, that's what the dark night of the soul is. It's going through all of your darknesses to get back to, the light, which is God, the universe, the creator of all things, your real true self, who you were before you put this skin on and all these things, all these feelings and thoughts had come over you. You start taking them off little by little, one thing at a time. The feelings and thoughts about people, places, and things. But you have to put them on, to take them off. All that shit that you've been wearing that's hidden inside of you. That's what it is. I didn't know about any of these dudes. I mean, I guess they're in there. I can remember them now that they're in my face. And that's what it means. That's what I try to tell you. It's like when these I don't believe your mind works like mine. And that's what I was saying yesterday. It's like I didn't even know I was sick. But some of you know that you're suffering. You know exactly what it is that every time that thought comes up, it makes you want to die. And you just do everything not to think about that fucking time. Can you sit down and just take a little bit of time to let this kill you one more time? Take the time to see it and feel it. Feel for yourself, talk to yourself, talk yourself through it. Don't ask too many questions. If the only question you need to know is, God, what do you want me to see? Why are you showing me this? And that's what I didn't need to ask him. Why are you showing me all this? What are we looking at? Well, I did say, what are we looking at here? The patterns. The patterns. When you get that many at once, there's a pattern. When you get that many memories at once, there's a pattern. And that pattern is stopping you. That's why they're bringing it to me. Why are you bringing this to me right now, God? I want you to be aware of your pattern so you do not repeat this pattern. When they start coming and showing you attention, you don't just give yourself to somebody like you've done before. Is what I got out of that real fucking quick. And I said it before, it's like I hook up with my friends. And that's as a demisexual. Once I get to a place of having an emotional connection with you, then I want to take it to a physical connection. And that's not good, because what we're emotionally connecting on is darkness, shadows, pain, suffering, insecurities, low vibrational shit, going back to drugs, companionship, you know what I mean? All these men, all of these situations, not Bobby, but in the sense of, okay, well, where's the pattern? If he's not part of that patterning, where's all the ultimate patterning? And that's where you look at it. It's like, okay. And then you look at, as I look at Nick, I see the lighter aspects of the twins. Nick was very soft and kind and bubbly and, you know what I mean? He was non-aggressive. He wasn't outspoken. He was that, you know what I mean? I felt safe with Nick. He just wanted to care for me. He wasn't going to harm me. He wasn't going to hurt for me. And in essence, you know, I always say that about Bobby. If anything, he just pities me. He just pities me. He feels sorry for me all the time. It's like, yeah, my life sucks, I guess. That's okay. It's just a life. You want to come hang out in the dirty. But that's the dramatic shift in it. It's like you can go from the highest peaks, and I can tell you these stories of I'm at stages and I'm at concerts and I know all the famous people and I'm taking pictures and I'm this fucking bitch. You know what I mean? And then you hear these stories of, on the other side, I'm over here doing fucking unbelievable amounts of cocaine and I've left my kids and I'm just a whole fucking mess, dude. A whole fucking, you know, it's like in the dark side of me. And you're like, wow, that's pretty dingy. But then you're like, what made you like that? You grew up like that. Your mom did that, dude. My mom taught me all of that. I was in my house. I was born into it. That's what brought my parents together. Literally. He was bringing it over on the ships and she was running it to the guys like me. I did this whole description about, you know, the patriarchy of the, you know, the drugs and how they work. I was like, there's you, the dealer or the user. And then I started going up the chain. And then there was me. I go talk to these guys. I'm 2 guys above and I go talk to these guys. That was my mom. She got it from the dudes off the boat. We go straight to, and in essence, I mean, I went across the border. Like, I will go to those guys. We go straight to the guys that you talk to. Like, we're just going to climb this chain all the way to the fucking totally, I'm going to be in command of this bullshit. In the sense of, and that's why I always make jokes about being Griselda and all that shit. And that's it. It's like, I can be to the top where I would never touch that shit, to the part where, please stop giving it to me. Just stop giving it to me. Just stop giving it to me. And that's what it is like, you know, and that goes back to that incarnation. It's like they chose to experience many life evolutions in one, and that's it. It's like I had to feel what it was to be this person, that person, this person, that person, this person, that person, this person, that. And that goes back to, where'd the Phoenix come from? Because I've been doing this forever, bro. I play all kinds of roles. Am I a Phoenix or am I a Sagittarius? We just stop, drop, and roll. Shut them down, open up shop. I'm going to fucking put on a new hat today. That's why I laugh at Jonica. It's like you play dress up with your day. I fucking dress up my whole life, bro. I put the suit on, and I wear that suit for a lifetime. I live that life. You just trying to fucking dress up as that life, bro. I've been that life. Every fucking dress up you ever been, I've been that bitch. And that bitch, and this bitch, and that bitch. Be a real bitch. Bitch. And that's why I be on these dudes, bro. I've been the biggest, baddest dude since I was 15, bro. 15, bro. 15, bro. 15. Why you think Pac chose me, bro? The fucking streets chose me. I was born into this shit, dude. In the sense of. And then I come back here. Love and light, bitch. God loves you. Your ancestors love you. You were made for great things. You can do better than this. I know this is the skin you wear. They wore it before us, but we can wear it better. We have the tools now. Go ask for help. Go, you change your life. Walk away from these people that are bringing you down. I do it all the fucking time right here. Some of them, they don't listen, and then I gotta curse them. Well, curse your fucking skin. In the name of Jesus Christ. The power of Christ compels you. And that's kind of where I was last night. I mean, it looked like some funny shit. And I just want to point out the biggest part. He looked great. He always did. He always is a stand-up guy that wears a suit and tie. He always was. Mike Millian, he's always a great guy. Life of the party. He's me and a man, dude. It's funny. You'd think that's my twin flame. Nah. We were just born under the same stars. We're made of the same shit, but not really. Anyways, going back to it, he looked beautiful. And I showed up, even though I had a dress and a fucking tiara and all this shit, and I was like, I'm gonna walk in there like a queen-ass bitch. A bitch walked in the same clothes I was wearing during the day, all nice and comfy in my nuggets. I had no makeup on. Nothing, bro. Just walked up on that bitch like I would never. And he was just, his face lit up to see me until he saw that I was not pleased with him and what is going on there. And all that meant is you're going to face it. Why did she come to us? Why was she doing? What did I do? Who is she? What is she after? And they're going to come find out real quick. You're going to learn today. In the sense of, keep looking, keep scrolling, bro. Keep scrolling. Listen to the stories of how you guys, what you did in the past that I let go and I didn't face. How you treated me. how I came to, you know what I mean, to love you, and you treated me like crap, and this damaged me in ways that I didn't know. And I had to sit there and, you know, be brave and face you again. Tree was there. Why didn't he come outside? My so-called best friend. Terrell, who threatened me, and he said all of this shit and fucking, you know what I mean, fucked over my music career. Why don't you come outside, bro? Come outside. Catch me outside, that fucking bitch. Catch me outside. Cash money, baby. In the sense of, it's just irony in the sense. That's what I posted. I was like, oh, I feel a sense of completion. Oh, you think you're done? Nah, it's never done. But that's where it gets easier, is because you become unbothered by it. Like, oh, this is gonna, oh God. And I just laughed. Like before, I would not, the laughing doesn't come till later. It's like, we're gonna cry right now and we will laugh about this later. But right now, this is really painful. Was it painful? I don't know. I mean, what did I face? A bunch of men. That was a whole chapter. I learned a whole chapter in just a couple of memories. So that's pretty cool. I guess we're going to pull the card and I'm going to teach you what I just learned in a couple of memories. Hey, I'll catch up with you guys later. Laters, haters.